What is up, everyone? Tonight, don't have my mic close. We are gonna hop in here shortly. We're gonna take a look first at last week, at week 1 on the Battle Royale streets, and then we're gonna hop right into week 2, see what we like. We'll take a look at the games and then hop into the drafts first. But wanted to start by taking a look at what won last week, right? It was kind of a weird slate. A lot of the high total games didn't go off. We did have, of course, the chalk, the Miami Chargers game absolutely went nuclear, which we were expecting. But let's take a look at what won. Smitty Gone took first place, 20K. Obviously, he's gonna have in this lineup. He's gonna have the Tua Tyreek, right? There's no doubt about that. I'm gonna talk a little bit too where I think I messed up and something I want to keep, getting better with my process. With Tua and what I did that I think, we can correct going into that. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Yeah, happy Monday Night Football. Like, what a bummer, right? There's Rodgers' injury. Just brutal, just brutal. I mean, you hate to see it for anyone. It's just such a damper on a season for such an exciting narrative we had coming in. Just absolutely brutal. Drew, you're in 5th in weekly winners right now. That is awesome. I don't think I even have. I only did 15 weekly winners. I don't think I have a team cashing at the moment, but we will have to take a look at that. But yeah, what's up? What's up? So looking at this team, obviously, Aaron Jones, as soon as Christian Watson got ruled out, was such a smash spot. Like him better in this format than I do something like best ball. He was kind of a guy I had a little bit of a fade for most of the off season, just with having those split touches for his price. Now, obviously, we saw what he can do when he's right. But in something like Battle Royale, when you're trying to hit those top 1% outcomes, he is always such a fun play. And it was such a good smash. I got on him a little. Didn't have quite enough. But I might should. I don't know. I want to look at the swaps too. But yeah, this is pretty standard. Tight end pretty much didn't matter on this slate. I don't even know how owned Hunter Henry was. I'll have to take a look at some of the Batch Row stuff. But was an interesting slate. Calvin Ridley, of course. We'd love to see that. I try not to victory lap too much in week 1 right now, but Calvin Ridley was a spot where, I went pretty player takey on him with my best ball exposures. Just thinking he's just light years better than what Christian Kirk is. Yeah, if tight end doesn't matter, it'd make it a lot easier, right? Just wait till the 6th round, plug someone in. But we do have potentially Kelsey back on this slate. We're going to take a look at the games here, see what looks exciting. But let me take a look. Let's take a look at my teams. Pretty much a brick out, obviously. 75 entries, only made back 250. Not a good week for me at all. I'm going to take a look at, let me see, this team right here. And where I think I messed up on, and something I still want to keep, improving my process time after time, is going to be having someone like oh, my camera has gone out. Okay, we're back. I think have that DFS mindset, and I talked about this last week on the first breakdown of week 1, the first solo stream, where I have this narrative, and again, I don't think it was wrong. I mean, Tua threw for 466, and Waddle didn't get there, right? Which I don't know how many weeks that happens when you get that many yards from Tua and Waddle doesn't get there. But on every one of my Tua teams, which there were not much of, I double stacked him. And so I still think that's something that I need to get better at and get out of that mindset. I think I just had the narrative like, if Tua is going to get there and really be the QB you need, odds are he's going to bring both pass catchers around with him. So didn't happen this week. Yeah, saw a tweet that no tight end had more than 60 yards receiving. Yeah, it was a brutal week. I mean, Hunter Henry's the tight end 1 on the slate right now. Yeah, doubling does not work. I know it worked once last year with Boyd, Boyd and Chase, right? It's still though, like, I don't know. I don't know how many times Tua throws for 466 and both receivers don't get there. Obviously, this was one of those times. I still don't mind mixing in the double stacks, especially with immobile quarterbacks. I don't know if I'll ever get away from that completely, but definitely want to do more singles, especially with someone like Tyreek, who just, the target share is just so massive from him. He's probably never going to have a down game. Obviously, look, I'm guaranteed this was an Andrews team probably. Got the Higbee swap, and it didn't really matter. Yeah, I saw some chatter on this, the 1 yard under. It was brutal, but they're going to honor it. I'm pretty sure they do that for all their pick'em specials that are a half. I know they did it at the NCAA tournament. There was one where a player didn't score, and they honored it. So I think they're doing that. I saw Josh Norris tweeting about that. But yeah, pretty much a brick week for me. Something I was surprised checking most of the top 10 teams earlier was not as much Ayuk as I was expecting. I actually didn't see a lot at all through the first bit. Yeah, this was a big thing too. I had so much Chargers that, especially the Big Mike stuff. Unfortunate, he went down, ran right into that linebacker, got the head injury. It kind of looked bad. Thought it was like an instant concussion. But yeah, him not really getting there. Keenan getting there, but again, not really. I don't remember exactly how many he had. But yeah, it was tough. Gonna move on over here to this upcoming week. Let me take a look and see. Let's just look at the games first and foremost. I want to hear from you guys. Which game's standing out as far as stacking this week? There's some really fun ones. I mean, look, Kansas City at Jacksonville. Saw it in the playoffs last year. Kelsey's going to be a big sticking point, and I think if you're drafting early, you're obviously taking Kelsey, and he should be fine this week. He seemed like he tried to or pushed to play on the Thursday night game, so I'm expecting Kelsey this week. But Baltimore at Cincinnati, that's one I don't know what to expect from. I could see that one kind of going. Maybe people like worried about the Andrews stuff and then worried about the way Cincinnati looked. Maybe it goes slightly underowned. I actually have not done a draft yet. So I'm going to be hopping in, taking a look at the ADP right when you guys do. Lions Seahawks, yeah, that's a fun one. Remember that 2 years ago, and then they played last year. I actually don't remember. That'll be a fun one. I think Miami at New England, again, could be a pretty fun matchup. The Patriots offense actually looks super competent. Mac Jones throwing for 315 and 3. Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry. I think that could be a fun one, but that is not on the slate though, so we are not going to be playing that. I just realized it's the night game. I remember seeing that earlier. Indy at Houston. I think we run back Anthony Richardson stacks this week. Loving that. I really like that he threw 37 passes. I don't know how often that's going to happen though, with obviously Jacksonville having that good offense and getting into a shootout. Don't know if Houston, we're going to get that same high-powered, yeah. It did blow up last year. Yeah, the Rashad Penny game. All right. Vegas at Buffalo, I think this is a good one. I don't have the game pulled up. Obviously, I cannot have it pulled up, but Buffalo, I think Gabe Davis was one of the, when I looked at ADPs, and we always like to scroll down, Gabe Davis was the first one that stood out to me as a scroll the F down play. Green Bay at Atlanta, I think that's another fun one. Jordan Love looked really, really good against Chicago. 3 TDs. Not being too scared of going back to him this week. And then the Atlanta run backs, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be going back to Pitts or to London. Jair Alexander, good Packers defense. Obviously, we love Bijan. Bijan's going to be, in all of our plans. I like the Giants as well as a flop lag game against Arizona. Hopefully, he can get them back on track. I know I'll have some dimes Waller teams for sure. Not sure what I'll do with their receivers. Probably be good to mix in. Yeah, that's kind of a quick overview. Take a look at the games, see what we got going. I think we should hop in just straight into drafts. They changed up the format this week. We've got the $10 main battle royale. We've got a $10 Sunday, and then dog bowl qualifier up to 50. I actually think this is really a good idea to make it to where if you like want to be in Miami for this, you're just not taking a $10 shot for someone who, happens to win it, didn't really want to be there. Like if you want to enter this now, $50, like, I think that's the right entry point for a contest like this to me. We're just going to start though in the mini battle royale this week. Dip our toes in. I bet we'll get multiple of these. I'd be interested to track fill rate compared to the $10 battle royale. I'm kind of playing under the assumption we get 2 of these this week, but we'll go from there. Yeah, Raiders Bills. That one was one that immediately stood out to me as an under the radar. I want to go to all right. GA, Juice McCaffrey, Buster Boys. All right, I'm gonna try and keep a tab on this Jets Bills game. Anything happened in the Jets Bills game? $13.6. Oh yeah, right. All right, let's see. So CMC right now is the 1 versus the Rams defense. Love that. Allen, INT, Jets punt. Yeah. Makes sense. Amon-Ra is the wide receiver 2 on the slate. We got Chase, Diggs, Ridley. I know Garrett Wilson will be an interesting one to monitor down here now. Go against that Dallas defense. I think you're going to be able to get a lot of 6th-round Garrett Wilson. Obviously, it's a scary matchup after what Dallas did to the Giants. Obviously, there was a lot of weather involved in that game. Monroe goes. We talked about Buffalo, Las Vegas. Gonna go ahead and get a Diggs share. I don't know how much Diggs Allen is gonna be possible. There will definitely be teams with it. There's so many good plays on the slate. Some people will want to get unique, and you'll get Diggs Allen teams for sure. Yeah, it definitely overlaid in week 1. It's a lot smaller contest this week, though. I kind of think it'll fill. I'm not sure if I will enter this week. Mahomes, Kelsey. I think that's going to be ADP is going to settle with that as kind of like your insta 6-7 turn double tap. Feels like that's what we're in store for. All right, let's see if GA gives us Allen. If not, we're probably going to take one of these running backs. All right, he does give us Allen. We will take it. I mean, this shows like, taking a falling ADP value is not always necessary because I've seen sometimes too, and I've been guilty of this, where you see someone fall and it's like, man, I don't want to give this person that combo, right? And it's just not how it works. I felt the fret last year of when these dropped, and I love what they're doing this year. It's such a good change for the quality of the tournament, is putting out the double up first, letting that set the ADPs. Because there were so many times last year where this thing would drop, right as Monday Night Football starting or halftime. I don't remember. And it's like, man, if you're not in there in the first 5 minutes, you're not getting Mahomes Kelsey teams this week. And it felt like that a lot. You know what? We're gonna play the chalk. We're gonna run it back with Devontae Adams in our first one. Don't hate that. It's gonna be the chalk stack, but we're gonna try and get unique around it. Yeah, Eckler has an ankle, I believe. I'm interested to see where that goes. If he is out, I definitely think Josh Kelly is viable in Battle Royale with as big of a contest as it is. He had a good game already against the Dolphins. And he should be looking at like a really nice workload against the Titans. I mean, they do have a good D line, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. It'd be a smash spot. Jahmyr Gibbs goes. Henry. I was definitely looking at Derrick Henry there against the Chargers. We know traditionally they're a run funnel. Mostert got there on Sunday as well against them. Largos. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do Waller against the Cardinals. Get our tight end. And then I'm probably going double RB. Trying to make myself do that more. Let's see. See if there's anything down the board that looks enticing. It feels like RB might be a little bit thinner this week compared to last week. I mean, I know a lot of people started pretty heavy RB though, double tapping it. So we'll see. I want to check I'm going to pull up my other teams and see if anything's going good for my live teams. So I think I'm going to go Kenneth Walker here if I get the chance to draft him. Let me pull wide receiver, though. I don't want to too much in on that. Man, the Garrett Wilson with Zach Wilson and QB versus Dallas. I think I'm going to pass on this first team. It's something I don't want to totally avoid, though. We saw him have good game, and I know most of them actually were with Mike White or Flacco, but I do pretty heavily believe in just talent-based drafting sometimes in these, just letting the talent win out. Let's see. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and take Kenneth Walker in this Detroit matchup. Yes. Appreciate you hanging out. Always love getting this first initial look. I don't know how long of a stream it's going to be. Definitely, though, looking at this early, I don't know. I am a Dameon Pierce drafter. I'm really trying to force 2 RBs more. Try to see if I like any of these matchups, though. Shame does, yeah. Pittman's interesting versus Houston. Love that. Yeah, we started out with the chalk. Buffalo, Las Vegas stack, Nez. Took Waller. Let's see. Debo could be fun against the Rams. Pittman goes. I'd like Dameon Pierce this week as a scroll down play. Just first look at this. Godwin I like. I'm sure Evans is probably in front of him because Evans is front. Chris Godwin then. Scroll down to him. Kirk. Dobbs again versus Atlanta. I'm fine going back there if Christian Watson misses again. But you know what? We're gonna do a 3 receiver to start with Debo versus the Rams. I like this one. Yeah, this was my very first draft. Getting the would you like it to when you draft with friends and family here? Sometimes you can get because the Allen Diggs, I think sometimes you're gonna get a little tilted because his ADP, he did have to fall 3 spots. There's gonna be tons of Diggs Allen teams though, so I wouldn't Don't think I got something amazing just because we drafted with other people trying to fill out their stacks. Yeah, the Houston defense looked feisty. I don't know. I'm still fine going to Indy this week. All right, let's hop in another, see what we can get. Underdog. We're starting out in the mini this week just to get our feet wet. All right, I had that pulled up. Jay's back in here. Yeah, RB could get really gross if Eckler ends up getting ruled out. Let's see what else we're working with. Aaron Jones questionable. That would suck. Definitely kind of feel it drying up a little bit faster at RB this week. The top guys really do feel like a pretty big teardrop for me. I want to try and maybe do a couple RB starts here. See what those teams feel like. Tight end. It's a deep week at tight end. That feels good. Musgrave. If we get, Andrews, Kelsey, a lot of question marks. Yeah, I like going back to the Detroit RBs again this week, especially if, like, Derrick Henry, where are they going? Gibbs is going here. Yeah, I'm probably going to go back to the Montgomery well again this week. I'll have some of both, but I just love the discount we're getting on Montgomery. Got the touchdown last week. I thought he looked like he had a lot of pop. He was one of my favorite best ball picks. I just think he's like worlds better than Jamal Williams. And now I know he's not going to score the touchdowns he's going to score, but he's out there on almost every third down for Detroit with the pass protection stuff. Yeah, that would be nice. Unfortunately, they're not on the main slate. But all right, let's see. And I might just am I gonna go Diggs again? Maybe go Allen. There's a chance we don't get Josh Allen though. Ridley, we like. I'm gonna be a slave to ADP on this one. I think Diggs Allen versus the Raiders. Yeah, Ridley. All right, yeah, we're just doing Diggs Allen again. It's fine. 100% exposure through 2 drafts. Talked about going double RB, but it is so hard to pass on that stack. I'm gonna have to watch that as we go and as I balance out my exposures and stacks. Saquon goes. Love him versus the Cardinals. The one thing, too, is you're drafting early. I think you still take Eckler. Because even if we do have to make a swap, I wouldn't be too worried about that. Like, if you're drafting this early anyway, you have to be willing to take risks. Sometimes they don't pay off. I took Kelsey a lot in the primetime Palooza slate with the Thursday, Sunday. He didn't end up making it, but was able to swap him for Noah Gray, Blake Bell if he wanted to get crazy, which I do think. I think Numi was talking about it on Badge Bros today, that he swapped to Blake Bell in that spot. And I think that was super sharp. Let's see who we have. I'm probably leaning both. I think the elite QBs are in good spots, and I think some of the scroll down QBs, like I talked about earlier, Jordan Love versus the Falcons, I don't mind. Justin Fields versus Tampa, even though he's still fantasy and elite QB, but you kind of have to scroll down to him. right. I talked about taking chances early. We are going to do that. Go ahead and grab Eckler here. Hope he plays. Yeah, I'm totally fine with golf stacks this week. Probably not going to have a lot of Dak versus the Jets defense. Not going to have much Stafford. I could see doing Baker stacks again. He kind of got there. ETN. And it's going to be tough for me to not click Waller a lot here versus Arizona. I'm going to have to force myself to scroll down. I mean, Kittle versus the Rams is a fun one. Obviously, Andrews. We are going to go ahead and just grab ETN, though. I would say, like, to answer this again, I definitely want all the Josh Allen. I'm going to go back to the well on Herbert versus the Titans. Trevor, I'm fine with. Obviously, Mahomes, Kelsey versus the Jags. The elites do feel really good. I mean, Lamar and Burrow is going to be, like, kind of a interesting conversation this week after the way both of those offenses looked so rough the first week. Obviously, there were weather concerns there with Cincinnati, so don't know how much to take away from that. Yeah, Lamar did not look great, as you're saying, versus the Houston defense. I mean, they did a lot of their damage on the ground. But I definitely want to get some love, Jordan Love stacks. Christian Watson, I did not love the quotes coming out of him today on whether he's going to play this week. Didn't seem super encouraged. Let me see if they've got the blurb in there. Let's see. Yeah, he was non-committal for week 2. Let's see. I don't know if they have the quotes, but yeah, it does not feel good. But I'd be happy to go back to Dobbs, Musgrave. I could see AJ Dillon being a scroll down play if we get no Aaron Jones. He'll obviously become more obvious of a play, but I think with all the other RBs on the slate, he won't be. I don't think he'll be like a play a lot of people go to, though. Even if Aaron Jones is ruled out, he'll definitely be mixed in, but I think he's a good one to go get. Evans goes. All right, we are going to go ahead and grab Kittle. Love that versus the Rams. I like how we did the Debo one-off on our last one. This time we get that. So we need a receiver. Let's see. I mean, we can do the double, but I know I'm going to click it a few times, and I know it's not optimal, but I can't stay away from the doubles. First Las Vegas. We'll see. T versus Baltimore. Man, it's tough, too. I know it's versus Dallas with Zach Wilson. Oh, it feels gross, but I want to just take the talent there. But we got Lockett down the board. Really like that. And I might just do a Garrett Wilson share. It is so tough to not take him against. I know it's versus Dallas, though. Yeah, we're just doing it. We're betting on talent. He got there with crappy QBs last year. I think he can still get there. That's a fun one. Yeah. Yeah, easy swap if you do Christian Watson, like GA saying. Yeah, the Christian Kirk 1-for-9 game. Not playing in a lot of 2 wide receiver sets. I can see going back to Zay against the Chiefs. We're not really afraid of their secondary. Let's hop back in. All right, let's not do a Josh Allen team this time. And I can. God, I'm gonna fall into that so much. Third pick for Jordan White. Josh Allen picked again. Are the Jets doing anything with it? Is it still 13-6? Flying blind here. No. Yeah. Figures. Still 13-6. All right. Let's maybe do a chase team here. We set up Cincy Baltimore. I do also think, too, going back to the elite QBs is going to be good this week because they're kind of buried. Because a lot of the elite QBs didn't get there last week. I mean, having Lamar, he's probably not going to go in every draft. I don't know. He's the 5th QB off the board and Burrow's 6th. Like, these guys aren't going to go in every draft, and I don't think it's going to be like that every week. Ridley stack. Yeah. Love my guy Calvin. All right, Dix goes 1 here. We definitely probably would run to the podium on CMC versus the Rams. But I'm open. Run it back, just the game stack that works every year with the Monra. Got the Ridley. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go ADP. We're getting our first few teams in. I don't mind just kind of going ADP and then getting different with the last couple picks, or just kind of getting in our initial teams, initial stacks. All right, I need to get familiar where. So we know Golf doesn't go. Definitely love DK. Want to make sure I get some Lockett though, and JSN. What do you guys think, like, with the Geno stuff in week 1? I did not get to catch as much of that game as I would like. I'm on Red Zone and then the National, so I wasn't on that one as much. And like every highlight they were showing on Red Zone was Rams. I don't know if anyone caught more of that than me. Like, that was brutal game from Geno. I have friends text me, like, ask me if I think it's a one-hit wonder. I'm not ready to overreact to week 1 like that with Geno. I have a ton of him in best ball, ton of Seahawks. Lockett, JSN, 2 of my highest exposed wide receivers on my best ball teams. Ayuk went in the first round. Pick 4, Brandon Ayuk. That is something. Jeez. And his ADP is 16. I love it. This to me, I love Brandon Ayuk. I think he's a really good player. But the overreaction in the BR streets week to week is pretty crazy. And again, I'm not even saying Ayuk can't get there. He's in a great matchup. But to reach on him at 4 and have him be like a top ADP guy, I don't know. Yeah, no, it was tough. I want to have all these takeaways from Seahawks Rams, but obviously you can say, looking at the box score, it was dreadful, but you're kind of at the mercy. Yeah, the steam on Ayuk is nuts. This is a weird room so far. The Dix drafter got Josh Allen to fall all the way back to them and took Herbert. Okay. Interesting. All right. We're just gonna take Kelsey. on this one. I know there's a lot of stats. He usually, like, if he's getting there and having the, like, okay, Travis Kelce's the guy you need, 30-point game. Obviously, Mahomes is getting there as well. But if it's a weird tight end scoring week again and he gets like 15 instead of 30 and is still the number one scoring tight end, there's a chance, Mahomes doesn't get there if it's like a 15 tight end week and not a 35. If they both go for 30, then that's going to be the stack you need. So at this point, looking at the board, I'm hoping for Metcalf for our run back on the Seattle stuff. I like Keenan versus Tennessee. Did Mike Williams get put in? He didn't get put in concussion protocol, so that's good. I definitely like the Tampa guys this week. I want to go back to Mike Will again. He's not going to go in every draft. He's going to be a good pick this week versus that Tennessee secondary. Gabe. I thought about too, like, if Allen would have made it to me, I think I would have done a third Josh Allen team, except set up the Gabe stack this time if I would have got that far of a fall. All right, we are going to get our run back here with Seattle. So we can kind of go either way, Goff or Geno on this team. Or if we want, do more of like we could still do like a Lamar, Zay Flowers if we wanted to get one of the rushing QBs for some Pittman. But I don't know. Like, my brain works too with Amon-Ra. Like, if you're taking him as your third pick, you really need him to pop this week. And so I like doing Goff on that. I know that it's not a perfect like analysis, and he can get there with Goff not doing it. But Garrett Wilson TD, we like to see that for our best ball teams. Mike Will goes. Any other RBs you love? I love Jacobs. We're gonna go Jacobs, and then if we get him, well, we will get him. He's already got 2 RBs. I mean, we've seen the Jets tonight, go off on the ground. Man, I'm very tempted just to do Lamar or Fields here. I'm down to one of these 3 options. Yeah, I'm definitely down. Danny Dimes. Bounce back game. Where is he? He's got to be buried. He's not buried. He's still here. I mean, he's pretty far down the board. He's behind Jordan Love. I'm willing to, and look, I will fully admit I have a very big bag on Daniel Jones in best ball. I'm not unbiased. I'm not a Giants fan, but I am rooting for him to have a good season. That was a dreadful start to it. It was against potentially the best defense in the NFL in really bad weather conditions. From a best ball perspective, fantasy perspective, I'm willing to write that off. Do not think Daniel Jones is a very good real-life quarterback. But, man, it's hard just not to go Goff, though, after watching what Matthew Stafford did to that Seahawks defense. And I say watching what I got to see. And we did get to see a lot of Rams on the red zone as they were showing all their scoring plays. We are just going to take the Goff with the Amon-Ra. Yeah. I mean, 10th round Danny Dimes. I mean, it was off to an encouraging start for the fantasy-wise. I mean, he had 27 rushing yards, I think, on the first drive of the game for the Giants. Obviously, it was all downhill after that. But that's pretty encouraging for what we're hoping from him to be able to give us that extra 20, 40, 50 yards a game, whatever, to kind of boost up his floor. Obviously, we're hoping the passing comes along with Waller, Jalen Hyatt, some of the new weapons they got, but it was not a great opener. I like this team. I like Jacobs a lot against Buffalo. All right, let's get back to the lobby. Let's just hop on in, keep going. I think we're gonna do 2 more, a little bit shorter of a stream. Me and Davis will be back tomorrow night. We're gonna do more breaking down, like more of what we saw week 1, some of our overreactions from more of a bigger best ball perspective, and then talk about more in depth in the games and the matchups for week 2 with some more battle royale drafts as well. All right, 1, 5, and 8. Let's look at some of the scroll down tight ends. Is Charlie Kolar's going ahead of Gerald Everett? Or am I missing something? Did he have a good game? I did not see a lot of Baltimore Houston. No, I don't know. I don't understand that. Colin Granson got some targets. Week 1, 6 targets. Yeah, I kind of like going back there if you're doing Anthony Richardson stacks. Yeah, of course. Yeah, mine and Davis's our first combined pick'em slip hit on the year. Ended up only being a 4-way pick'em because Christian Watson got ruled out, but that went 4-4. It was really fun. We each brought 2 to the table and then agreed on a 5th. So we'll build another pick'em slip as well. Shots to GA for that. All right, Josh Allen goes. He's been taken away from me. I cannot stack Diggs and Allen again in this one. Gonna have to get different. Another thing too in my process that I want to get better at is I feel like I talk a lot about how I do want to scroll the F down and all that. And then let's see, 2 QBs ago. I would love to get honestly any combo. We haven't done Ridley yet. I don't know. I kind of want to just attack Amon-Ra. Yeah, we're going back to Amon-Ra. The rest of the Lions receivers, they have nothing. I know Josh Reynolds had that like one big pass play, but they have nothing outside of Amon-Ra. Really made me feel more bullish, honestly, watching that game for Jameson Williams. I know there's a lot going on with him. Ridley. We're just going to take Ridley. He did not have the greatest off-season, preseason camp. But geez, as bad as Reynolds looked and what they got from their other receivers, Sands and Amon-Ra, makes me feel pretty bullish on him when he comes back. Again, it's up to him, though. He could be a bust, but he's definitely going to get the opportunity. I was kind of worried about that maybe like he's in the doghouse and this type of thing, but I think they're going to have to play him. Buffalo fumbled. Yikes. Let's see. I'm going to 13. What up, Numi? All right, let's see what we've got. So we've got our Amon-Ra Ridley start. Feels really good. Obviously, like when you get the 2 QBs that go 2-3, when they're not there in ADP, feels really good to get that slide. Yeah, we're having a good night. Excited to hop in the BRs this week. I like that we got the 2 different offerings, 2 different price points. Should be fun. This is a fun slate. There's a lot of good scroll down options. It's going to be hard for me not to just take Kelsey. We'll see if he gets here. This is the Mahomes drafter. They should scoop him. Let's see what they do. All right, they might be autoing. Nope, they took Aaron Jones. Don't know. I wonder if they're. I mean, they're probably just autoing. Amon-Ra, Ridley. Jeez, it's hard for me not to just grab Kelsey here. I mean, RB is gone. I'm just gonna take him. Run back on Ridley. Correlation. I was trying to make sure I wasn't missing anything. I was like, yeah, I know he's still questionable. Obviously, it could be a swap, but I'm not concerned about that. I am gonna go ahead and just lock down. Let's see. We've got two people in between us and one's got ETN that don't have QBs. I am just gonna lock down Trevor in this one. And now we're looking at this. All right, let's see. I'll take a look. Some of these other teams have been interesting starts. Allen, Barkley, Keenan. Let's see. I don't know. This team feels good. This feels like it's going to be a pretty hard team to get. Amon-Ra, Ridley, Kelsey. I don't know. You got Kelsey to slide 7 picks. Got the other 2 to slide 2 and 3. Every time I think like, oh, this is going to be a unique combo, you see some screenshots that are just like absolutely ridiculous. Are the Jets going to pull this out? I don't have it on still. I know you said they got a fumble. All right. So we know we like Jacobs versus the Bills. I kind of like Kenneth Walker as a run back against Amon-Ra. Let's see. Pierce is interesting. Mixon probably could go back there. I don't love it. I really do, and I get him with top RBs. I mean, probably not going to double Gibbs Amon-Ra at all. Cook versus Vegas. I'm fine with that. Don't love as much of our scroll down options at running back, though. Unless we get some injury news. We're just going to take Jacobs. I think we're going to go Jacobs, Ken Walker. Unless there's any... I mean... We did the Garrett Wilson pick once. Not scared to go back to that. I like the Gabe one off. The Gabe run back on our Jacobs is interesting. I really am trying to just do more double RBs though, but all right, yeah, we're just taking Ken Walker. All right, this is a fun team, really correlated team. Getting our Lawrence Ridley Kelsey stack, really nice. Ken Walker to run back with Amon-Ra. Feels good. One off Jacobs. I mean, seeing how well the Jets did running the ball against the Bills tonight, makes me pretty bullish on that spot this week. And especially if he's gonna I'm gonna end up with so much of him. If he's gonna consistently be that many picks down below the top RBs, feels just like a really good pick. Not doing a great job of scrolling down in these first few, but really feel good about this team. right here. This is actually a really sick team. Hope Kelsey plays. I think he's going to. I definitely want to go down to some Zay. Some Christian Kirk as well. I think that could be. I mean, again, I'm the biggest Ridley bull there is, but I do think going back to Kirk on this slate could be good. Let's do one more, and then we'll sign off. I think this is a good initial look. Some fun games. I definitely want to get more into that Green Bay Atlanta game as I build out my exposures this week. I think that's one I'm going to want to target, at least from the Green Bay passing side. All right. We are in. Let's see what we got going on. All right, picking out of the 4. Oh, okay. I just scrolled Twitter to check the news and saw the Garrett Wilson touchdown catch. That was insane. Holy cow. I like seeing Pollard down this low. I know the Jets have a really good defense and a good D line, but him being the RB4 off the board after the workload we saw Sunday night feels good. All right. I gotta find. All right. I think Schultz is interesting going back to him. Him versus the Colts. I do want to go Granson on the Anthony Richardson stacks. Feels good. We need that news on our elite tight ends. So, all right, we haven't built out this game yet. Let's do a Cincy Baltimore. I'm not even sure on where the ADPs are on some of the guys in this one. Andrew's all the way down here. Let's see. Lamar. And then Zay. Yeah. Zay looked awesome. We are going back to the well on Saquon. First, the Cardinals. All right, let's start setting this up. It's going to be really easy to get some of these like premium tight end stacks with your main piece, like the Chase Andrews is going to be easily viable. Obviously, he could get ruled out again. Let's see if there's anything. It's a day ago. He did log limited practices throughout the week. Short King Summer. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, the Rams Seahawks game was just the most stunning thing ever. And I was actually rooting so hard for the Rams, though, because I have some big cup bags, so I was rooting. I want them to be as competent as possible. Don't give them any reason to shut down Cooper Kupp. I did like the disaster scenario. They start out like 0-4. He's kind of in and out when he comes, or he's in when he comes back, but then maybe he tweaks something and they're like 1-10 and they just shut him down. Just disaster scenarios that were rolling through my mind. Once he was put on IR as someone who was taking Kupp at 3 a lot of the offseason in best ball. And so I was happy to see that the Rams looked good. Stafford looked awesome. Awesome game from Stafford. Tutu Puka. I mean, obviously Puka like just pretty much played the Cooper Cup role, and I think I was biasly not getting on him just because I was taking Cup so much. I did a decent amount of Van Jeff. He looked just bad. Wish I would have got more Puka late. Took some. Let's see. Man, it is just tough for me to go with like the steamed up Ayuk. I definitely want to have some of him. I mean, I think Ayuk's awesome, like I said. It's just that 49ers as a whole, it's just really tough to nail the weeks that they go off. And now when we're doing a lot of entries like I'm going to do this week, I'm fine, spreading it around. But it's just tough. I don't love anything else here. So we are just going to go ahead and lock in Lamar. Got the basic Lamar, Chase, Andrews stack. I think that's going to be a pretty popular one. Love getting Saquon on this team. Yeah, I think it's going to be something I'm going to have to look at. Passed over him. Besides, he went 4 in that one draft. It passed over him pretty much every time. It's tough. Because, I mean, Debo seems like a smash. Let's see who we can scroll down. I like the Gabe one-off versus the Raiders. Puka. He's good. I mean, it's no joke. I mean, you don't just get 15 targets randomly, or at least I don't think you do. I mean, those are pretty much earned. I love Godwin as a scroll down play. Yeah, I think we might do Godwin on this team. Nico could be fun this week. We know Lockett any week he can go for 25. Still do JSN. Saw 5 targets. What we're hoping is a shootout this week. There's a lot of good scroll down plays. All right, let's see. I kind of want to just go back to the well again on Josh Jacobs. Let's see. Cook is here. Yeah, we're just going to do it again. Just going to run. I mean, he got 20 touches, 2 catches. Like, what's going on in Bills Jets? All right, let's see. Yeah, I love both of these guys this week. After watching, I mean, I think Baker stacks are viable too. Like, I mean, Love was awesome against the Chicago secondary. Chicago starting a rookie corner and I think a second-year corner. Bills driving down 3. Love going to the Tampa guys, especially if Godwin's going to stay this buried. I mean, the market is just so reactionary. I mean, obviously he has an ADP. People are taking him. I mean, I do love Debo. But we're going to go down to Godwin. We talked this play up enough. All right, I like this one. Got our basic Lamar Andrews with the Chase stack. Got Saquon, who we love, versus the Cardinals. Godwin versus the Bears feels great. And Jacobs versus the Bills. 20 touches. I mean, he's just back to getting that insane usage. Just got to be a little bit more efficient. Obviously, he could not be there against the Bills, but their run defense didn't seem super great tonight. But that is going to do it for our first look. We'll actually be back tomorrow night. It'll be me and Davis. We're going to talk more, best ball centric, our overreactions. If we've got any high scoring teams, maybe that are in the top 10,000 in Best Ball Mania. And then we're going to preview the games from more of like a matchups basis. And then we will do more battle royale drafts. But yeah, I think that is going to do it tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was a short notice. I was kind of waiting for Underdog to let us know when they were going to drop the BRs. If it's consistently is going to be right as Monday Night Football starts, I think I will probably do this solo stream Monday nights going forward is the plan. So thank you guys for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow night with Davis. Peace.